Here it is Xuemo community, and it is Xuemo channel. Xuemo is a contemporary Chinese writer from Western China, and his works have been translated into 28 languages. He has over 80 titles, and some are about the Western life in China. So there are the novels, and also there are spiritual essays. Also, there are cultural summaries, the philosophy and about Confucius, the Confucius philosophy, the Taoist, and also about the Buddhism. He knows all the cultures around the world. And then there is the Xuemo mythology. Many readers say that Xuemo's works can illuminate people's inner light because his aim to become a writer is to benefit the sentient being. So that's why his works is so different than the other works. Hope you can find inner strength and also will become more peaceful and in your life. So these days I've been talking about the true mind and about inner storm, about why human beings suffer even when nothing terrible may actually be happening outside. So about why human beings suffer even when nothing terrible may actually be happening outside. And we are still suffering, just like me. These days I've been suffering a lot. This a lot is very like just an illusion if you already going through it. When you think back, and even you are in the suffering, you know that what you are suffering is just the thoughts. There's nothing real happens in your external world. Your physical body is healthy, and all the works are going very well. And your family are good, your colleagues are good. Nothing happens. Nothing really happens, but just the suffering from your thoughts. And there is imagery. When you see something, you will imagine something, and you suffer from that, what you have been imagining. And you think you cannot stand it. So that is how a single thought can slowly become an emotional prison. One thought leads to another, and you just don't have the power to overcome it. I see myself. But yesterday is very like a very special moment that I say, don't be overwhelmed. I told myself, don't be overwhelmed by the thoughts and the emotions, but just do the meditation and do the practice. And feel really good. And I fall into sleep, and I wake up very early in the morning, and all the day I feel very energetic. So speaking of a single thought can become an emotional prison, and one thought leads to another, and one fear awakens another fear. One memory pulls out an entire chain of suffering. And before we realize it, we are no longer living in reality. We are living inside our interpretations of reality. Today's world is extremely noisy, not only externally noisy, but internally noisy. People scroll endlessly through information, emotions, conflicts, desires, comparisons, and anxieties. Even when sitting quietly alone, the mind still cannot stop moving. The body may rest, but the mind continues wandering endlessly. And slowly, many people begin to mistake mental exhaustion for life itself. For itself. But ancient wisdom with traditions discovered something very important long ago. Human suffering is deeply connected to the inability to stop following delusive thoughts. Not because thoughts themselves are evil, but because once one becomes trapped inside them, we lose clarity, we lose freedom, we lose the ability to simply see things as they are. So today I want to continue from yesterday's topic. Tonight, we are going to talk about something very profound from ancient Chinese spiritual wisdom. So how to extinguish delusive thoughts? Because as long as the delusive thoughts is extinguished, then the true mind will appear. Or in simpler words, how can a person stop being dragged around by the mind? How can a person stop being dragged around by the mind? How can we regain inner clarity? How can we calm the storms inside the heart? And perhaps most importantly, how can we live in this complicated world without losing ourselves? Hi, Kuripot. Hi, welcome. Are you new here? Where are you from? Let me know. How are you? And where are you from? Oh, you're from Australia. Welcome. Have you subscribed to our channel? What made you? Oh, you've been here before, so you're interested in our sharing here, right? And thank you for your support. How's the weather in Australia? And are you living south, north, east, western Australia? I haven't been to Australia yet, but I'd like to. Oh, in Sydney. Okay, 16. So not so hot, not so cold, right? Very warm weather. Comfortable. Yes, I will go there. I will go there for sure. And if you have anything to want to talk about, or you have any questions about Xuemo's words, or Xuemo philosophy, you can leave your message here. Or you've been to in Guangzhou in 2013. What are you going there for? For business? Maybe the Canton Fair? So you can continue your message here, and so how can we live in this completed world without losing ourselves? In ancient Chinese Buddhist and contemplative traditions, many masters spent their entire lives studying this question. Wow, you are you did shopping for clothes, shoes, and watch. Very good for you. I've been to Guangzhou for like 6 times, but all for the Canton Fair, for the trading. Yes, we have a booth there, and then display our products there, and all the customers from all over the world coming to our booth, and we have cooperation. And yes, I know that it is a nice place for shopping for all these stuffs, but I don't. Every time when I finish the Canon Fair, we left there, so I don't even have a chance. I didn't even have a chance to do shopping there. And what we are going to talk about today is I have to go. I'm like, okay, welcome back again. Thank you for your time coming by. Today we are talking about the true mind and how to abide in the true mind and distinguish the false delusive mind. So in ancient Chinese Buddhist and contemplative traditions, many masters spend their entire life studying this question. Over the centuries, they summarized different methods for calming the delusive mind and returning to the true mind. And in the text we are reading, 10 methods are mentioned, 10 approaches, 10 doorways into clarity. And these 10 ways, Xuemo spent, there are 3 books like this, 1, 2, 3, talk about the true mind. So there are 10 methods are mentioned, 10 approaches into clarity, and some methods teach you to observe thoughts, some teach you to let go, some teach you not to follow emotional reactions, some teach you to dissolve the separation between yourself and the world. And some methods eventually arrive at a state where inner and outer movement and stillness, thought and emptiness no longer conflict with each other. Now, of course, when modern people hear words like true mind or delusion, some may think this sounds distant or mystical. But actually, this is extremely practical. For example, you are trying to work, but your mind keeps wandering. You are trying to rest, but anxiety keeps replaying conversations and problems. You are trying to love someone, but fear, suspicion, and emotional projections destroy the relationship. You are trying to live peacefully, but your inner world never stops arguing with reality. And this is exactly what the ancient masters were talking about. So let's enter this topic, not as religion, not as abstract philosophy, but as something directly related to everyday human suffering and freedom. So tonight's topic is how to extinguish the delusive mind. 10 ancient methods for returning to the true mind. Okay, let me find these contents are all from the book by Xuemo, The True Mind. Um, and I have translated them into English, and let me share with you. Okay, how can delusive thoughts be extinguished? The prerequisite for quieting the delusive mind is first learning how to observe your own heart and mind. How should one observe? Simply put, it means maintaining clear self-awareness at all times. If you do not yet understand what self-awareness means, imagine your inner world as a recording studio, and the delusive mind is like a music enthusiast who also works there as a cleaner, always sneaking in when nobody notices, just to indulge in the fantasy of becoming a singer for a moment. But you possess 24-hour surveillance cameras, and every one of his secret little actions is completely visible to you. Hi, I see someone here. You can leave your message and say hello and let me know where you're from. How do you know our channel? Have you read Xuemo's works before? So in other words, self-awareness means being fully aware of your psychological activity, emotional fluctuations, and mental state every single moment. It is as though your body, your thoughts, and your true self are three separate entities. Your thoughts are passing travelers. Your body is the town, and you are the silent observer who watches them enter. A subtle observer, after long-term conscious practitioner and training. So the state of observation will gradually become natural existing, become as natural as breath in itself, and you will no longer need to practice deliberately. At this stage, thoughts dissolve, and the three separate entities slowly become two, your body and you. Eventually, you will discover that both you and your body merge with the entire world, becoming merely one element within it. no longer an independent and truly separate individual. Now you probably understand how to observe your own mind. So let us return to the methods of quieting delusion and revealing the true mind mentioned earlier. So how to quieting the delusion and revealing the true mind? The first method is called awareness. While observing the mind, you remain vigilant against the arising of delusive thoughts. The moment you notice yourself drifting into random thinking, you must immediately cut off the thought and start following it further. So there is a book in China. It is direct words on the true mind. As stated in direct words on the true mind, when practicing, one ordinarily cuts off thoughts while guarding against the arising of thoughts. The moment a thought appears, awareness immediately breaks it. Once delusive thoughts are broken by awareness, thoughts no longer arise. Eventually, even this awareness wisdom is no longer needed. When both delusion and awareness are forgotten, this is called no mind. Therefore, the patriarchs said, do not fear the arising of thoughts, fear only delayed awareness. Another verse says, there is no need to seek truth. One only needs to seize conceptual views. This is the practice of extinguishing delusion. So, for example, while writing an article, and you suddenly begin wondering what to eat for dinner. At that moment, you must not linger on the question. You should not continue debating whether to order takeout, cook at home, or invite friends out for a nice meal. You should immediately return to the state of writing and focus fully on what you are supposed to be doing at that moment. As for those thoughts that constantly tempt you, you must learn to reject them and never follow where they lead. Because once you lower your guard, they will use countless reasons to deceive and tempt you, causing you to become uncertain and hesitant about what you had already. Hi, I see someone here. You can leave the message and talk about what we are talking today about the true mind. And do you know any methods that will lead you to abide in the true mind, and you will not follow the delusive mind? If you have any method to share, anything you have read before, whatever you have learned before, please share your um, ideas here. So the second method is called resting, which simply means letting go. This means allowing your discriminating mind to rest for a while. Stop using it to measure the people and things before you. Stop calculating whether something is good or bad, right or wrong, reliable or unreliable. After observing, simply let go. So as stated in direct words on the true mind, when practicing, think neither of good nor evil. The moment thoughts arise, let them rest. When encountering circumstances, let them cease. The ancient said, go forth like a strip of white silk, cold and pure, like incense smoke drifting from an ancient temple burner, until all subtle distinctions and discriminations are cut off, become simple and still, almost foolish and unmoving. Only when then is there some degree of accord. This is the practice of resting the delusive mind. For example, when you see a beautiful woman, simply appreciate her beauty and let it end there. There is no need to judge whether her behavior matches her appearances, nor compare her with others to determine who is more attractive, nor analyze which of her features best fits your personal standards of beauty, and certainly do not become obsessed and fall into longing. Uh, do not become obsessed and fall into longing. Yeah, that's very important. Otherwise, you will be trapped in the worldly love, and always remember you are on the way to your inner world and to find the ultimate freedom. So the third method is called dissolving the mind while leaving the environment. Dissolve here means to extinguish. During practice, whenever delusive thoughts arise, extinguish them immediately, no matter what the external environment may be. Simply calm your own mind. Once the delusive mind is quieted, the outer environment can no longer harm you. The ancients called this removing the person without removing the environment. Layman Pang said, 但自无心于万物，何妨万物常围绕? If one remains without attachment toward all things, what harm is there in being constantly surrounded by them? Delusive thoughts are often triggered by external stimulation. For example, you see your girlfriend having dinner with another man, and you immediately feel upset, perhaps even angry. You fear that you may lose her, but this is only your speculation, and such suspicion only harms yourself. Instead, you may simply refrain from making assumptions. What you saw is simply what you saw, without imagination, attachment, or obsession. You will not fall into blazing sea of delusive thoughts. And the fourth method is called dissolving the environment while preserving the mind, eliminating the external environment while allowing only the true mind to remain. In other words, once you understand that all phenomena are like mirrors, then when practicing this method, one feels all inner and outer phenomena as empty, still, and impermanent, allowing only the true mind to remain, standing alone in solitary clarity. As stated in direct words on the true mind, do not take the myriad phenomena as companions, nor oppose the dance of the world. If the mind becomes attached to external conditions, the mind itself is delusion. Now that there are no conditions, where can delusion exist? Then the true mind shines alone, unobstructed by the way. This is what the ancients called removing the environment without removing the person. Thus it is said, the flowers in the upper garden have already withered, yet carriages and horses still crowd the roads. And again, where are the 3,000 swordsmen now? Only Zhuangzhou alone remains in peaceful stillness. This is the practice of dissolving the environment while preserving the mind in order to quiet delusion. And the fifth method is called dissolving both mind and environment, meaning extinguish both the external world and the mind itself. This means that not only do you understand all phenomena to be illusory and unreal, but you also realize that your own thoughts are equally fleeting and ever-changing. What troubles you today may become what you long for tomorrow, while what you longed for yesterday may later become the source of future anxiety, because there are simply too many factors influencing emotional perception. So why place so much importance on external circumstances? Why exhaust your mind constantly contemplating them? In the curses of Xia, I once described Xuemo in a state of luminous clarity, 成明之境, luminous clarity. Although she had lost a leg and was bound in chains, her heart contained no guns, chains, wounded limbs, or scorching heat, nor any anxiety or resentment. Her mind was like a vast ocean of clarity and stillness. This is dissolving both mind and environment. Direct words on the true mind explain it this way. First, empty and quiet the external environment, then extinguish the inner mind. Once both inner and outer realms become still, from where can delusion ultimately arise? Therefore, Christ said, in the 10 directions there are no walls. On all four sides there are no gates, naked and pure, open and unobstructed. This is the patriarch's method of dissolving both person and environment together. Thus it is said, 云散水流去，自然天地空. Clouds disperse, waters flow away, in stillness, heaven and earth become empty. Hi, 刘东柔。 why isn't there an increasing audience for your stream? The subject that you talk about very interesting. Hi, thank you for your support. I'm so glad to hear that because I thought the YouTube viewers are more interested in the entertainment content. Actually, it depends. Actually, sometimes there are many viewers coming in. Maybe the YouTube, the platform give advertising to your channel. But sometimes there is few people. It is okay, but what we should focus is continue doing the daily thing of live stream. Yes. So clouds disperse, waters flow away. In stillness, heaven and earth become empty. And again, when neither person nor ox can be seen, that is precisely when the moon shines brightest. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're interested in this topic. So this is the practice of dissolving both mind and environment in order to quiet delusion. And the sixth method is called preserving both environment and mind. This means that you must not become confused by appearances before your eyes, nor allow experiences to generate emotions such as attachment or aversion. As stated, as stated in direct words on the true mind, let the mind remain in the place of mind, and let phenomena remain in the place of phenomena. Even when mind and circumstances confront one another, if the mind does not grasp the environment and the environment does not invade the mind, neither reach the other. Naturally, delusive thoughts do not arise, and thus the way remains unobstructed. So there is a scripture says, all dharmas abide in their own positions. Worldly appearances remain ever present. This is the patriarch's method of neither removing the person nor removing the environment. Thus it is said, when one moon rises over the sea, countless households ascend their towers, and again 10,000 mountains flowers bloom, yet the wanderer forgets the way home. This is the practice of preserving both environment and mind in order to extinguish delusion. In truth, once you achieve this, you attain a kind of genuine freedom. What is true freedom? So, being allowed by the outside world to do what we want or say what we wish is not true freedom. Because such freedom is passive, it depends upon the cooperation of the external world. Yeah, that cooperation is beyond our control. To depend upon this kind of freedom is to admit that one is a slave to the external world. Therefore, that expectation itself becomes a profound form of unfreedom. Only when the inner world and the outer world become independent of one another, when we clearly perceive everything happening externally without being controlled by it, can we attain true freedom and complete inner autonomy. This autonomy is what the ancients called preserving both environment and mind. Julian's message. Some time ago, I was reading about Indian philosophy, and there I really read a quote that says, "Keep doing the work you love without having any expectations of finite gains and results." Yes, you know, when I think back of my my working in my young ages, I always get the results very quickly, like 6 times faster than the others. I can achieve the. Uh, Hello, I have a question that you are reading from. Yes, I am reading from Xuemo's work. Xuemo's work, but this book is in Chinese. This one is in Chinese. I think it is about the true mind. But we also have many English editions have been translated into English. Oh, sorry. Many books have been translated into English. Just like if you are interested in the topic of mind and true mind, you can order this book by Xuemo, Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart, on Amazon. And you can search for Xuemo, Xuemo, Xuemo. So, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Thank you. And yes, I'm reading from the book by Xuemo, True Mind. And do they know what the quote is really nice? Yes. When I think back, I always achieve something very quickly, and then the others. And maybe in half a year, I will achieve the same as someone who have worked 9 years there. So every day I don't have a method. I don't know the working technique or skills. But what I know that I just focus a lot on the working, and I never have. I even don't set a goal for myself. I even don't set the goal for myself, but only focus on doing what you have to do, and the result just come. So the seventh method is called the unity of inner and outer. All phenomena in the world is inseparable from the true mind. There was a German philosopher named Martin Buber who wrote a book called I Am Thou, in which he explained two possible ways of attaining immortality. One is to allow the vastness of existence to dissolve the self. The other is to make one's own spirit so expansive that it can embrace the entire universe and the natural world. Hi, I'm drinking coffee. I'm trying a different way of turn the screen off. Yes, this is also very good, right? How about this? Not so good. Not so good. Okay, then let's continue. So imagine if your heart becomes vast enough to embrace the entire external world, then the outer world and yourself would naturally merge into one. And if they are originally one, how could even the slightest opposition exist? Without opposition, there is naturally no division. Without division, there is naturally no soil in which delusion can grow. Of course, the prerequisite for realizing such inclusiveness is still understanding that the external world is nothing more than a dreamlike illusion, empty in essence. Yet this emptiness is not a void of absolute nothingness. It is an emptiness like the true mind itself, clear, vast, and still containing infinite possibilities. As stated in the direct words on the true mind, so we've been mentioned the book Direct Words on the True Mind many times because these 10 methods are from this book, Direct Words on the True Mind. I once bought that book because of Xuemo's quote from the book, but it is ancient Chinese that I can hardly understand. So after Xuemo interprets, and we can understand so well. So mountains, rivers, earth, sun, moon, stars, the inner body and the outer objects, all phenomena share the same essence as the true mind, clear and luminous, without the slightest difference. When the countless words become one unified whole, from where could delusive mind possibly arise? Therefore, Master Zhao said, Heaven and earth share the same root as I do. All things and I are of one body. I can feel this every moment of my life, especially when I'm listening to the music and stand out, stand outside on the earth. I feel totally all things and I are of one body. So I have a very deep sense of wholeness, oneness. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. So I have a very nice view of wholeness. This is the practice of extinguishing delusion through the unity of inner and outer. The eighth method is called the full functioning of inner and outer. When you can truly abide in the true mind, all external circumstances and your own thoughts become marvelous functions arising from the true mind itself. You no longer consciously analyze or judge them, nor measure them through thought, experience, standards, or concepts, nor do you classify them through concepts of obsession and division. In other words, when it is time to walk, you walk. When it is time to sleep, you sleep. When it is time to eat, you eat. Do not burden these natural actions with excessive purpose, methods, or judgments. For example, your walking is not merely for the sake of walking. You're sleeping not merely for sleeping, and you're eating not merely for eating. Therefore, there is no need to worry whether your posture while walking appears graceful, whether you grind your teeth while sleeping, or whether others may laugh at how much you eat. You only need to maintain that sense of ease and naturalness in the present moment. Still, of course, you still must not lose clear awareness. Direct words on the true mind states, all inner and outer phenomena of body, mind, and world, along with every moment and action should all be regarded as marvelous functions of the true mind. The moment any thought arises, marvelous function is already present. Since everything is itself marvelous function, where can the delusive mind possibly attach itself? Therefore, Yongjia said, the true mind of ignorance is itself Buddha nature. This illusory empty body is itself the Dharma body. The ninth method is called essence itself is function. All phenomena before your eyes are both the essence of true mind and the functioning of the true mind. The luminous awareness of the true mind can give rise to infinite, marvelous functions. For example, when you see a large hole in the middle of the road, you naturally know to walk around it. When you smell spoiled rice, you immediately know the food has gone bad. But this is not delusion. It is an intuition that transcends concepts and conscious thoughts. Although the emptiness of the true mind is spacious and open, it is completely different from blank unconsciousness. It is not dull staring, not drowsiness, nor unawareness. As long as you remain clear awareness at every moment, while abiding in this state of emptiness and stillness, you can both enjoy the ease and freedom of emptiness and still respond swiftly and intelligently to situations. In that case, why continue making endless guesses and associations about people and things? As stated in direct words on the true mind, in silent union with the true essence, there is pure emptiness and stillness. Emptiness and stillness. Yet within the hidden luminous awareness gives rise to countless functions. Within luminous awareness, hidden emptiness and stillness remain. Function itself is essence. Therefore, Yongjia said, awake yet still. That is correct. Awake yet lost in delusion. That is not. Still yet awake. That is correct. Blank stillness without awareness. That is not. If dull unconsciousness is not allowed within stillness, and random thinking is unnecessary within wakefulness, Then how could delusive thoughts arise at all? This is the practice of extinguishing delusion through essence itself being function. The final method is called transcending both essence and function. This means you no longer concern yourself with what is essence or function, what is true or false, what is inner or outer, what is affliction or enlightenment. Hi, Jake. Hello, welcome. Are you our new friend? I'm reading the book by Xuemo. The topic is about the state, to extinguish the delusion and stay in the true mind. So, thank you for your subscription. Thank you. Yes. It's very important for new friends subscription. Your subscription here. Wow. Psychological books or psychology books. Are these two different words? Explain to me. I thought they are the same meaning. Oh, you will stay. Thank you for your support. Thank you. So, no longer concern yourself with what is essence or function, what is true or false, what is inner or outer, what is affliction or enlightenment. Simply let go of all concepts and obsessions completely. Do not dwell on the past or imagine the future. Simply focus on the present moment, flowing naturally with conditions while remaining clear and awake in the here and now. In this way, delusive thoughts naturally will not arise. It is more spiritual book, Hygiene. Spiritual books. As stated in direct words on the true mind, make no distinction between inner and outer, nor between east, west, south, or north. Regard all directions everywhere as one great gate of liberation, perfectly whole and complete, where essence and function are undivided without the slightest separation or leakage. The entire being fused into one seamless whole. In such a state, from where could delusion possibly arise? So we've been talking about 10 methods originating from direct words on the true mind, are all excellent paths of spiritual practice of human being. And you only need to choose the one most suitable for yourself and practice it consistently over time. In doing so, your inner world and your life will certainly undergo profound transformation. Sadly, very few people recognize their true value. Most people believe that true treasures must appear extraordinary and astonishing. They also imagine that such structures are always hidden somewhere distant. They also imagine that such treasures are always hidden somewhere distant and the mystery theories. And so the precious jewel becomes covered in dust, and bright mirror grows clouded with grime. Truly, this is great pity. Okay, very interesting. Thank you. Thank you for your like. Wow, you relate to this. Can't imagine that. You should have a very deep cultural root, right? And because the thing I'm sharing here, to the ones who can understand, they will see it as the treasure. But for those who cannot understand, they will just feel it is boring. What do you think so? Hi, I see some new friends coming here. Thank you for your time. We are talking about how to abide in the true mind and extinguish the delusion. Wow, J. King, really exactly. Most people go their entire life without not knowing what their purpose is. Wow, it is not boring to you. I'm so glad to hear that. And you're right. Seldomly people think about what the purpose of their life, and they just follow the society, what the society leads them, right? And repeat the cycle of last generation, like the, wow, you're a very spiritual man. Um, there is a story related to your message here that the most people's life without knowing their purpose. Hi, Harry, welcome. The shepherd boy. There was a shepherd boy in the village, and a journalist come to him and ask him, "What are you doing?" I'm feeding the sheep. And what are you going to do when you grow up? When I grow up, I will get married and give birth to and have children. And what will your children do? Feed the sheep and then get married, then give birth to child, have child, and then just repeat and repeat, generation after generation, similar lives, never asking what the purpose of our life. Hi, Minecraft. It is not just you, but yes, our voice is buffering for several months. Thank you, Jake. So the next topic I'm going to share is the wisdom of seeing through truth and falsehood. 大悲周遍者，随缘行大用。 One whose great compassion pervades all things, acts freely according to circumstances, manifesting great function. Oh, great stories. Thank you. Harry, why is that? Can you explain what the author think about it? What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, it's understandable. Continue with us. Thank you. So there is a wax museum in Hong Kong displaying wax figures of many celebrities and political figures. They are extraordinarily lifelike. Yet, no matter how realistic they appear, no one mistakes them for the actual people themselves. Why? Because the wax Michael Jackson cannot perform the moonwalk, and the wax David Beckham would simply fall over if struck by a football flying toward him. Why give such an example? Because just like the wax figures in the museum, states of blank unconsciousness and stumble emptiness may appear similar to the true mind. But in the end, they are not. They are not. They are not true mind. Some people they can only uh, reach the status of emptiness and without thoughts, and even without the thought of no thought, and they think they have already understand the true mind. It is very dangerous because emptiness devoid of everything may simply be stubborn emptiness or blank unconsciousness. These are not wisdom, but rather expressions of ignorance. Such states may encourage passive resignation and drifting with the current, leading to more escapists and nihilists in society. The Buddhist idea of harmonizing with the world is not the same as passive submission. It contains something far more alive and dynamic, the discerning choice of wisdom. Empty and devoid of everything. That's yeah. In other words, a person abiding in the true mind can fully accept everything that fate brings, yet will not allow the world to control his clarity or happiness. For example, if I already understand the impermanence of worldly affairs and can quietly enjoy inner peace alone, why would I still write this book? Why continue speaking so much? Why not simply hide away in the mountains like a hermit, or return home and farm the land? Thank you, Jake. You can search for this book on Amazon for Xuemo's work on Amazon. You can search for Xuemo for his books. Thank you for your kind words. I would rather devote my life to following the example of ancient sages such as the Buddha and Confucius, doing things beneficial to society and speaking words beneficial to society. Yeah. Create viewing value within this limited human life. Of course, whether society ultimately benefits from it is something I leave to circumstances. My harmony with the world lies in my willingness to speak truth in ways people can understand without avoiding social reality. My acceptance of circumstances lies in not forcing society to accept my views, nor would I become disturbed simply because best-selling authors, even more royalties than I do. Hi, Minecraft. Another way of using a true mind I found is chanting. Thank you. So you're also interested in it, right? I'm not wise. I just share the contents from Xuemo's work. Yes, I'm the carrier, not the one who have this wisdom and insights. So I cherished every moment that could be cherished, did everything I was able to do, and refrained from doing anything I shouldn't have done. Therefore, I live with great peace and happiness. This inner ease is the natural result of illuminating life with wisdom. But what is true wisdom? And how can one know whether one truly possesses it? Buddhism says that if you understand the true mind and can act from it in every moment of life without even the slightest confusion or bondage, then you are a true wise person. The true mind is great compassion pervading everywhere, presented, presented, present in all things, manifesting great function according to circumstances. The liberation of sentient beings relies upon this true mind. Spiritual teachers use this true mind when transmitting teachings. I use this true mind in writing. We also use this true mind when serving others. All of these are marvelous functions arising naturally according to conditions. If this mind cannot manifest such a living function, then it loses its meaning. All scriptures exist in order to help you recognize the true mind. Everything realized by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas is the true mind. One who understands the true mind is awakened. One who is confused by illusion and does not understand it remains an ordinary being. Therefore, the true mind must be capable of functioning within life itself. It must enable you to clearly see the truth of the world. It is the mind that is without stain or contamination, not seduced by the external world, not controlled by desire, not influenced by emotional fluctuations, and not polluted by changing circumstances. Only that which simultaneously possess emptiness, awareness, luminosity, and knowing can truly be called the true mind. So only that which is simultaneously possess emptiness, awareness, luminosity, and knowing can truly be called the true mind. stain or contamination. Yeah. So we are talking about the true mind and the 10 methods of how to extinguish the delusion and abide in the true mind. And I'm so glad that you're interested in this. So it is an ancient yet extremely practical question. And how do human beings extinguish delusive thoughts and return to the true mind? So the text by the book by Xuemo repeatedly reminds us that suffering is not created by reality itself, but by the endless projections, fear, memories, judgments, and emotional storms created inside the mind. One thought becomes another thought, one attachment creates another attachment, and eventually the mind becomes trapped inside its own illusion. And ancient practitioners understood this deeply. So over centuries, they summarized many methods for calming the delusive mind. Some methods teach observation, some teach letting go, some teach not following emotional reactions, some dissolve the opposition between self and the world. And some eventually arrive at a state where inner and outer emptiness and awareness, stillness and action become one seamless whole. But tonight's most important point may actually be this. True mind is not numbness. True mind is not unconscious emptiness. True mind is not escaping from life. The book repeatedly warns against the confusing wisdom with blank emptiness or passive resignation. Because real wisdom is alive, it is clear, responsive, awareness. Yes. Yes. Compassionate. The true mind can fully accept life without becoming enslaved by it. And it can see suffering clearly without drowning inside suffering. It can participate in the world without losing inner freedom. So that is why the texts say a truly awakened person may still write books, help society, speak truly, and serve others. Not because they are attached to fame or outcomes, but because wisdom naturally expresses itself and compassionate action. And perhaps this is something very important for modern people. Today, many people either become trapped inside anxiety and overthinking, or they move toward numbness, avoidance, emotional shutdown, and meaninglessness. But the true mind is neither obsession nor numbness. It is a state of luminous clarity, a quiet wakefulness, a freedom that cannot easily be controlled by external chaos. And maybe the beginning of all spiritual practice is simply this: to stop blindly following every thought that arises, to slowly learn how to observe, to remain awake, to return again and again to the present moment. Because perhaps the peace we are searching for has never truly been far away. It has simply been covered by too much noise. So thank you for being here, and thank you, Jake, for your support. And may you slowly discover your own clarity, your own stillness, and your own true mind within this complicated world. So thank you. See you next time.